Okay, I've got 5:30, let's call this meeting to order. Begin with pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call by Alex.
Steve Heron.
Here.
Carol Honkow. Here. Jay Jones.
Here.
Lexi Murphy. Here. Gina Rao.
Here.
All right, all in attendance means yes, we have a quorum. Attendance of guests, we do have a sign-up sheet, so if you would all sign in, make sure we spell your names correctly and know that you're here. And we will begin with an open opportunity to address the council. Max of 5 minutes per person per item.
I have
So
a
we have
question,
any-
how come it got switched from the beginning to
That's
the
a
end?
great question. We didn't want you to sit through the 2 hours if you didn't want to. We've had some, and then like in last week's case, we would have taken action prior to them getting to speak about the topic, which also felt unfair. So at this point, normally meetings allow it at the beginning rather than the end so that the people can state their piece and leave. If you would like to stick around and to the end, of course, you're welcome, but if you have just comments, you are to make them at this time, if so desired.
Okay, so I have a comment.
Okay.
I truly want to thank the city crew for coming and putting in the light pole. They did a fantastic job. Thank you, Kelly, and your crew.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, okay. All good, and everything's working fine and all good there. Awesome. Okay, anyone else have anything to state for our opportunity to speak?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll make it quick. I was at the last meeting, so at the last meeting, it was kind of a touchy meeting, touch and go, so I'll make it quick and not want to go in here. Anyway, I went on to see our new website, and our new website, after 8 weeks of diligent work, the first website that went live was this one, which is basically the old website with the same bottom and everything. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. And so then I complained to a council member or two. And then today, about 3 o'clock or so, some new pictures got put up, 2 of them actually. And so now everybody in the country knows that we have a water tower and a flag and an elevator. And words. The words that were here are lorem ipsum, and that's basically that. And so what I was kind of upset about was after 8 weeks of this is what we get. And so I'm kind of wondering, one is, yeah, we'll be accurate. Nice wording here, by the way, and stuff. So there is on that. So it's what's been going on for 8 weeks.
Can I pass these around?
Yeah, go ahead. That's all right. And also, I maintain also that there's been actually longer than 8 weeks to work on this, because back in August, you guys have been planning to do this, or at least some people have, planning to do this since August. And how do I know? Because Paullina, cityofpaullina.com was purchased back in August. And that kind of makes me, so, and I assume it belongs to the city, because on here, it's, this is, remember this sheet? This is that fact sheet that you got. I assume it belongs to the city because it says you own the domain. And so I assume, now I can't tell you it belongs to the city because it's hidden right now. That's it's a privacy thing you pay extra for on GoDaddy. And so the names are hidden, but it is home button and it is City of Paullina. So I'm kind of thinking, gosh, you've had since August to come up with something. I do that, but no. It takes a lot to plan a website. It takes a lot to do it. So and I think people are finding out that this is a lot of hard work to go along. Now, after seeing this, and this is my opinion, after seeing this, Luann, who helped build the first website way long ago, before anybody was here, she helped build the first website, and it was actually a college project, and we had gone, and when we got done building it, and so some of the code, like the HTML code and the JavaScript code, is raw, and she wrote it, and it was submitted for a grade. But then we decided we're going to go to the city fathers and see if they like it. And if they like it, they can have it. So just let us work on it. And the city fathers liked it, and we got worked on it. So I just thought I'd give you a little history on that. We didn't demand that they pay $3,000 up front or anything like that. We just gave it to them and worked on it. So, and she said, well, to be honest with you, I think a few people around the city, I think they want to, they don't care if they got the website or not, they just don't want you to have the website. And I think there's a little truth to that. Now, I'm gonna head out, because of some stuff that happened to me last week, I'm heading out. I was gonna come for the TCA decision, but I see that's not on the agenda, so I really don't need to stick around for any of that, so. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, John.
Okay. I'll know about halfway.
Anyone else? There are 5 minutes to share. Glenda, you still have time left.
Why are you pointing me out?
We just like to listen
You
to you.
didn't take the whole 5 minutes, you did
I-
4:34.
I promised myself tonight I would thank Kelly for the wonderful job that they did, and that's all I have to say.
Okay, all right. All right, well, let's move on to approving the agenda for tonight.
Well, can I just ask
Oh,
just a
sorry.
general question?
Yes.
Is there ever a way we can have notice or have a notification when the sprayer truck is gonna come around? Last time I found out, because Hospers, they put it on their Facebook, so we knew it was coming, but it's just a curiosity. We spend a lot of time outside, and usually it's the most beautiful night of the summer when they come around, and
Has to be, so otherwise they won't come if it's windy, that's
Yeah.
why. It's
Yeah, do they
so
have
I was
a
just
set-
curious.
No,
they have-
they just randomly watch the
Oh.
wind temp, and
Oh,
I did
okay.
tell them to ask and check to make sure there wasn't a ball game, because last year they went by when there was some kids playing, and even though they say it's fine, it's still not nice to do, so we have asked for that, but that's about it.
Okay.
But I can get you his number, and he might text you and say that too.
Yeah, that would-
Text you when he's coming. But sometimes they'll say they're coming and
Maybe
then
put
they
it on
don't.
the website too, or do they?
We could.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people, or even, I don't know, how many days ahead of time do you know? Just the day of?
He comes and tests.
Oh,
When
yeah.
He comes up and
Wind check.
the wind check and all that, then he tests and see,
Okay.
they do it like a collection. or
Because I was gonna
something.
say you could put it on the thing.
He just
on
doesn't
the
come, he
street,
doesn't,
But that won't work.
yeah,
Not
he
much
just doesn't
notice.
come and blow the stuff out. He does test and then, if he has to, because when it's dry, he doesn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's good to know.
All right.
Okay, so we need where to, item number 6, anyone else have anything? Brian, you're here for other reasons, Marlon, you're here to observe. Okay, thank you. And approve, agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda this evening? Sorry, I just waited there, Taylor. I'm sorry. Did you have anything to speak about?
I'm here with similar issues with Brian.
Brian? All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Jean and Carol and Jean. Okay, Carol's made the motion, Jean has seconded to approve tonight's agenda. As stated, do we have any other discussion or questions related to the agenda?
Why isn't the TCA thing on here? We said we would table it last meeting to make an appointment this meeting.
Do we have an appointment name this time? Because last time I put it on, no one spoke of their names, so I
I
wasn't
thought
about to
two
do that
people-
again. We had enough media coverage on that. So, I didn't want to put it again and give them that. So we don't have a name as far as I understand, or names plural. So by June 17th, hopefully we do.
Excuse me. I received a request today, a letter request. So I could put that on now, or
Well, it sounds like there's other people that are interested as well, so.
we could wait till next month and let's make sure we get it on
17th.
next meeting. Excuse me.
Right.
I don't,
It's
not
gotta be
next
on the
month.
agenda.
Yeah, put it on the
Let's-
agenda. Yep.
But I do have a letter here, and I'll get that.
And I called a couple people too, so, and I haven't heard back, but I just called them today, so.
Yeah, if everyone wants to submit whoever they know of by the, they were on the 5th, and we've got a meeting on the 17th, so like by the 10th.
So you can add them to the
Whatever day
agenda.
that's a weekend, but, so that we can provide those materials in your packets.
Yep.
Okay, does that answer well enough, Lexi, your question on that? Okay, so we've had a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Do we have, if we have no further discussion, we will call for a vote. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay. Reported, Lexi Murphy, nay. All others, ayes. Agenda approved. You have minutes from the 6/19 regular meeting, which are included in your packet on a white sheet of paper before the pink sheet of paper. Do we have any revisions to those?
I do.
Yeah?
About halfway down, there's it says motion by Herron, second by, and there's no name there.
There.
And it should be Murphy. I noticed it too.
Okay. Catch.
Yeah. It's the only one I seen too.
Okay.
Yep, that's the only one I saw.
All right, is there anything else anyone else has? Ryan, was that correct wording for the grant equipment? Or you never saw it?
Packet, so I wouldn't have any idea what it's about.
Oh, wait, was that the right one or no? Yeah, that's the right one. That's down Ryan. He needs some minutes. But anyway, okay, well, we'll correct that if you need any, if he needs any revision to that. It says for specialized swift water and ice rescue equipment.
Oh, for what
That
that
would be for the grant, which is kind of the terminology they had from the county, community foundation. It's on the bottom of that first page, second to last paragraph.
So that's supposed to be changed or not?
No, I'm asking just to make sure,
Oh.
since we're making revision, if
Okay.
there's anything else.
All right.
That was one I was questioning as well.
No, that's fine.
That is accurate, okay.
I seen them getting ready to do that at the lakes last night, because they had somebody that was in the water and they were bringing it all in. I'd like to watch this, but I don't think you really want anybody around there anyway, even though there was all kinds of people.
They were doing what?
There was somebody in the water that they had to get out. and so
There's
they're
two of them.
rescue. Two of them, one was earlier and one was later. The one we went by was around 5 o'clock or something. They said 7, but they were there before that. So. But they were putting all their
Okay.
stuff on and their tank and.
Wow.
Hopefully it turned out well.
Well, they said they were both in Sioux Falls, but it was what I heard, they didn't, that radio station didn't know any results of
Okay.
how they were doing. So,
Okay, so we've had the one change to add second by Murphy to the wage payment for city employees for fiscal year '24 in the minutes. Is there any other revisions needed, or otherwise would someone like to make a motion to approve them with that revision?
I'll make a motion to approve as revised.
Okay, Steve has made the motion. Do we have support?
Full second.
Jean? Got a motion by Steve and a second by Jean to approve the minutes from 6/19/23 meeting with the revision to add second by Murphy to that paragraph. Any other discussion required? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes from 6/19/23's regular meeting with revision to include second by Murphy and the authorizing wage payment for city employees for fiscal year '24, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed to say nay. All ayes, motion carries.
I do have one question related to the minutes on the supporting information on item number 7. In regards to the minutes, you have the minutes to review. They're already published in the review this past Saturday due to publishing deadlines and our legal obligations. What does that statement actually mean?
What does that statement mean? We were able to publish it in the review by giving it to them this past Thursday, and it was published on Saturday. We were told no to publishing it in this edition, which was required, the one July 1st edition, which was not July 1st, yes, July 1st. Whatever the one was coming out, we were told that we would not be allowed to do so in that timely fashion. So to avoid having the clerk receive a ding on the auditor report by not publishing within the 2 weeks required, we had to make a decision to get it to the review, so it was published. And they put it in, it's there on Saturday, so that is
And then just have
covered
your
our
copy
legal,
then, right?
we have the copy, certified, all that. All was good, it looks good, done. So that's where that came from. Okay. We are now to approve payment of claims, item 8. We have those on pink paper.
What are the contract warrants? $1,200, you know,
We're at,
That would be item 8,
under Iowa Department of Public, I just don't know.
public
what it is.
safety.
Yeah.
Mr. Bremer?
What's that?
They're asking about the $1,200 for miscellaneous contracts, warrants.
What is that?
To Iowa Department of Public Safety.
I don't know how to get agendas anymore.
Goes right
so-
by your target, miscellaneous target.
I believe that's the fee the state charges to hook into what's called the Iowa system, Iowa
For
online
you
works
to
articles.
check
Yeah.
stuff, okay. Okay, I just didn't know, I don't know if I've ever seen
Ask
it,
if
but.
you do that, I guess you didn't. Don't get, because I, Michelle probably knows that.
Yeah. Is that a yearly thing or a monthly thing?
Yearly,
Yearly,
yearly.
okay.
It's, $100 a month,
Oh, okay,
Oh, it's okay.
but they bill it yearly.
okay. Thank you.
You're not receiving agendas anymore, Nate?
Huh?
You're not receiving agendas anymore?
No, I had been getting.
Would you like
slid
to?
To me, well, it'd probably be helpful if there's questions
Yes,
like
when there's
this.
questions. Alex will put that in consideration, huh?
Yes.
Slide it under his door.
Yeah. Any other questions Kelly or Alex can answer, or Nate?
Put ground anchors on our city property signs so they don't get, our $1,100 sign doesn't get stolen again.
That's horrible, so.
You put a ground anchor on those signs so they don't get stolen again.
Yeah, how many of them were they for 1,100?
$1,100.
That's horrible, total.
For 'em?
Oh,
What sign?
I thought there was one. Holy cow. I should go in that business.
So they don't, somebody doesn't decide they need it worse.
I just asked Kelly about the transformers. He said that's what he ordered before COVID. Just about right after, just got them, so.
Where's that?
It's the big one on the
Second
back.
to last on sewer utility fund.
Oh, whoa.
Because we're trying to get with the school,
And have you
try to
got
figure
that?
out theirs, because they're talking 2-3 years maybe to get a transformer.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you were talking about that.
I'm sure they're designing everything right now, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Because nothing was designed actually, it was just
Well, this, yeah.
kind of extra.
they'll come tomorrow.
Now, I have a question about that, I just heard her say, with that lease, do we get so much printer ink or?
They're sending 2 big cartridges, so
Are they supposed to be bringing it every month with the lease? or-
I have no idea.
That's
They
interesting.
always
Usually-
make sure you have
usually-
one extra,
Yeah.
always. Wherever I've worked, there's always been an extra.
There was no notification or anything
It
that
doesn't
popped
tell you
up.
on the machine or nothing? or-
It didn't pop up on there.
It's a brand new
Yes.
machine.
Yeah.
See how
Ask
we
them
get
if
the
there's something
program
that they
now.
didn't program it in.
Right.
They can tell you that too.
Yeah.
That would be a
I know
good-
my little printer at home always comes on my screen.
Right.
Yes, so does mine.
Yeah, the postage meter is very knowledgeable on telling us in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting low.
Yeah.
Yeah, postage is going up.
It always is.
Yeah.
And during July
It
1st.
just went up again.
Okay, anyone want to move to approve payment of claims?
I move that we accept the claims for treasurer claims report for what, June,
I'll second it.
7/5/23.
All right, there's a motion by Jay and a second by Carol to approve payment of claims. Are there any other questions before calling for a vote? Hearing none, call for a vote. All in favor of approving payment of claims, say aye. And
Aye.
And opposed, say nay.
Nay.
All right, Lexi Murphy, nay. All others, ayes. Motion carried. Any questions?
No, I just talked like that.
All right, item 9, approve up to $20,000 water treatment property improvements. And Kelly, would you like to share to everyone what that all entails?
It entailed taking out that reservoir that is no longer of use, and there, that building that was out there that we took down, there's a well there that has not been used in 20 years, so I plan on taking that pump out and filling it in. That'll be about, the guy I talked to said that'd be about $5,000 to do all that, so
You have to go through the county to do that, fill that in?
I just have to have a county or
Yep.
someone
Through
that's
Bubba does.
certified to do it.
Yeah, Bubba does that. But they do have grants and stuff for that,
Yep.
yeah, too.
There's a grant, I think, through the DNR, and I think there might be one through the county.
Yeah, I think there is. Unless
So-
it's changed.
I think the one through the DNR is like $500, and maybe the county's $500.
Could be, I was gonna say 5 or 6.
So we have this budgeted.
This has been budgeted for how long? Way back.
But we have the
Probably just left it there. It just stayed.
About probably 3-4 years ago,
At least.
we had an estimate for $13,000 to repair both those, and nothing got done, so.
Yep. I remember them talking about it
Yep.
when we started. They talked about
Yep.
closing it.
And
That
that,
summer.
we had a company come in and said they could do hydrocrete and fix them, and 13,000 and nothing ever got done. so.
I don't remember amounts, but I remember we talked about, or it was talked about.
But the one's still usable, okay. And the pump, that's the, what you're talking about,
Taking out,
that's that green pump sticking on the inside.
Can you guys actually do, tear it down and everything yourselves?
Tear what down?
That, well, aren't you taking down that big white thing?
The building's already down.
No, but is there like a white, big white tank
The
or
white
something?
tank.
Oh, the white tank? No, we'd have to get somebody to do that.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought you were getting rid of.
Yeah, isn't that early quote for that?
Yeah.
Is that
That is
part,
part of it, right?
That's part of
what-
this.
Yes.
part of
That's
the-
part of the 20.
Yep.
It's 3
Oh, okay.
things, yeah.
so you'll take care of the old well, and then the old reservoir that's,
Yep.
And paint the current reservoir, the one
Then you'll,
Oh,
paint
okay.
on that. Yep, paint for that, I got 2 different quotes, it'll be about $4,000 for paint for that.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's special paint. yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to fix any kind of concrete on it too before you paint it, or is it good? Okay. I move we approve the $20,000 water treatment property improvements.
Okay, Jay's made the motion to approve up to $20,000 in water treatment property improvements.
I'll second.
Second by Jean. Do you have any other questions for Kelly at this time, prior to making a decision?
Just a statement that we do, I mean, you said it already, we do have the money budgeted for that, would be, okay.
Be nice to get it done.
Okay. And all in favor of approving up to $20,000 water treatment property improvements, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. And you're all ayes. Motion carries. All right, the next one is another long-standing project that approved the $16,500 excavation quote to R1 Excavating for clearing the East Broadway lots. I realized we did not get that copy because our copier part was dead, so I think you've all seen it before, apparently, that quote that was from September, right, Carol, you had? Or something, or Jean had?
Yeah,
And then
September.
you confirmed that it was
And
still
then you
good.
confirmed it after that.
Now it says lots.
It's the two pieces of,
Oh, you're doing all the way along the railroad tracks too?
just the two,
It's,
Where does it start and where
Where's
does
it
it
start?
end?
straight, whatever, to that.
Is it the Johnson property?
Johnson,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, all the way down
To Wood?
to
To
Wood?
Wood.
To Wood, okay. And then the
Well, I don't
piece
know
that
about
Apache
I'm
used
not
to
sure
have?
about
Quote,
Does
no.
it?
yeah, you have to ask if their quote included
I
that.
thought it was just
I thought it was
by
just the
on Maple
Johnson,
Street.
yeah.
Just the two lots there.
Yeah, I just thought it was there, but
Just up to Harker?
yes.
Up to Harker.
Because we don't
First
own
one.
anything from Harker beyond.
Well.
We were
gifted
given
it.
that.
We were given
Yes,
it
we've been
for a
gifted
By
dollar.
the chamber or development?
No, the development committee.
Development bought that from Apache.
And that was given to us?
Yes.
So it is available should we choose to,
Yes.
but I don't
It
know
was
whether the
given to
quote
the
included
bank.
I
that.
don't think it did.
But that, the trees aren't coming off that.
Then the way back trees, we weren't thinking
Yeah,
either,
no,
were we,
No,
Jane?
Okay.
I think it was
So
just the
there's
There's
Johnson
no
property.
point,
Yep.
we don't have a plan for that, so I don't know your call whether you add to that or
Well, I
not.
didn't know it says lots.
Yeah, good point. I was thinking the two official
I didn't know if we
Johnson
wanted to
lots.
do
Yeah, so exactly, yeah, I think that's what we're trying to clarify here, exactly what are they doing?
Yeah.
So
They were going to clear the property. Now, you might want to check
Harker.
with them and tell them not to clear those trees
Way to the back.
by the railroad. Not sure if he knows that or not.
But he's gonna clear them on the Johnson property.
Yes.
And I got
To the
both of their
railroad
numbers
tracks.
here, if you want them tonight, yeah.
Because it says lots, that's what I can't figure out is.
But Johnson had two lots.
There's two lots.
There's two lots, the triangle behind.
And then that's another lot, it's a third and fourth technically.
Oh, okay.
But nothing-
I thought that was just two lots.
Nothing from Harker over to Wood.
We don't
No.
think
You
so.
can, but I don't know if the quote
I'm
was
pretty sure
done then,
we
that would be
didn't,
your.
we didn't talk about that.
That's what I'm asking.
No,
So it'll be from Maple Street to
Harker
Harker,
Street,
and nothing beyond that.
right.
And that's the first block, right?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
first lot.
Well, then that would go back to where Apache's
Yeah.
lot started.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
is
the one
that
that was
was old
gifted.
lot?
Yep.
And that's what was gifted, that was rezoned, remember?
Yep, that's commercial.
So
Commercial now.
at this point, it would have to be changed zoning if you're
Changed.
gonna sell it for residential development or R2 or whatever, you're gonna have to adjust
I
that.
think it'd be worth more as commercial.
So it would be nice to know if we had that, I guess, now.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of.
We were told a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it
was-
came up
it was in the
sometime that
minutes or
they gave
something.
it, Johnson's gave it to the bank, or to the bill, or what do they call it, development?
They sold it.
For a dollar, or they sold, gave it to them for a dollar.
No.
Oh, they sold
They
it?
buy it.
He's-
Oh, I thought they
He,
gave it really.
he sold it
willing
to
to-
him for like $20,000.
They're willing to transfer it to the city.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Because he only get like 1,200, 700 for it, or the guy did.
So it is available
Oh, okay. But then
But
they.
you might want to make that clear. I mean.
before they clear.
Before they clear the trees, make that clear
Yeah.
that we don't want those trees removed.
Well, then maybe the price will be better.
Could be, I don't
Hard
know.
to say which,
If they do it, have them do it.
you know, if it's included, I'd say in your bid.
Yeah, if they
So,
include
Yeah, if
it,
it's all
However-
included, just let us know.
If we
Yeah.
don't, I mean, how can we approve this if we don't know exactly what
Well,
they're
you
doing?
can make the motion by stating it's set. to
Yeah,
which
then we
lots
think
you
it's for
allow.
what we
So if
think
the
it is.
16,500 quote includes the entirety to Wood, then you approve it. If not, then just do till Harker. You can state that if there is confusion.
But if
Is there
we-
nothing like the city guys could like do to clean it up and
They'll
so
probably
we
help
save,
clean it up.
to save like some money? I mean, we have,
They already
we have big,
They already have
a 100
Hauling the
trees to
stuff to
cut
the
down.
dump maybe,
Yeah,
but depends how busy they are
When you-
and when they do it.
There's already 100 trees they need to take down.
Right.
Others to try and run.
For 16, I think that's pretty cheap.
Clear the trees, clean up,
If you-
and
if you talk
all the
about-
dump.
What's that guy get for that machine per day, 7,000?
Oh, soy back.
$7,000.
so, and the fire department's gonna oversee this?
I
But
don't know.
that's what this
Or-
thing at the dump.
That was,
Not just when the dump is burned, which I think you
Yeah.
guys are aware of, yeah, so that's
Just
safe
when we're burning trees.
at the dump.
Yeah.
Right, yes, otherwise, there's no burning on site.
So,
You decided that was unsafe.
but I will have to work with Kelly for a game plan because I'm gonna take up some real estate, so.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Big
lot,
pile.
a big pile. You're gonna have to clean all that debris off there and get it cleaned up for them.
I'll let you know so you can bring your marshmallows.
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
That's gonna be a hot one.
Yeah, community s'more party, check.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I know we got a quote back in September, but I'd really like to,
Yeah, but do we have it?
No,
You
but-
have it here, Gene?
do we have,
Nope, I do not have the quote.
Okay.
we don't have a copy
I've got
of
it down
No.
here, Johnson property, clear trees, clean up, haul the dump, 16.5.
I don't, I think you guys said something, but I don't remember seeing like a clear, like, sheet.
That's all they told us.
Very specific.
That's all they
Just
said.
her notes written down, right?
And I think you called them first and told them we were looking at Johnson property, and I think you told them just Maple Street.
Yep,
So I think that's where we're at. So,
So with the Maple Street, you're saying it's just where the house was, that lot?
that whole thing from there, that whole,
All the way back to our,
not to the back part, no.
Just a
no,
hundred.
just the
Just the
Harker.
Harker.
just our, yeah.
Yeah, I had seen a copy of this little sheet. Did anyone see this little thing? That was what was passed around from
That's the
11/18.
one that we
That's the
got.
one.
Did you
Yes.
type it up or you typed
Right.
it up? Our
No,
one
they
had
said-
the-
they typed
said
it up.
this.
Yeah,
So it
what's
says,
this?
yes, tree removal, the one was 12,600 was if they burn on site, which we
Yep.
discussed was not. So then the one for clear trees, clean up and haul trees to the dump is 16,500. That's the only thing I've ever seen.
Yep,
And it has Nick and Chad's number on there
I think
and
I still got it on my phone,
somebody's name. I don't know what that means, but.
I got Chad and Nick, you got both of them? For
Oh,
numbers?
here?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the one that
Yeah, I know it's important to move forward on this, because we need to get it cleaned up, but I sure would like to know from where to where, what they're gonna do. I mean, they could come in and just clean up a small portion of it and say, there, we're done.
Well, can't we make a motion to tentatively say where we feel they're doing it? And if they say, no, that's not what we're doing, the motion's no good. Then at least if they and us are all in the same boat, or same idea, then they can go. Otherwise, we're gonna sit here
We're
another
gonna sit here
2
again.
weeks
Yeah,
again.
I know.
So
We
can
can
we
make a
make it
motion.
tentatively on that?
Pending, talking
Pending
to
them.
them.
If they're thinking what we're thinking, which I think they are. but-
Let's approve the thing if it's to go to Harker Street.
Yep,
Well, that's my thought.
Yeah.
yep, I think that's what we understood.
I'm pretty sure that's what,
And if they
I never
don't,
talked
if
to
they
them.
say it isn't, then
Other
they
than
gotta come
Todd, but
back.
you did.
because we didn't own
Couple
the other
weeks.
2 lots at the time.
Right.
No, right, when you first talked to me, we didn't.
Oh, we never owned that second lot back behind?
Those 2 lots.
Not when
Patch
they
you
gave us
got.
that quote.
You only bought one lot.
Didn't you say there was 4 lots?
I think it's on Beacon, I think it's.
Yeah, but he only has one lot though, doesn't
It was
he?
a lot.
From that whole block? From Harker back to
Patchy had from Harker to Wood Street.
Wood Street, yeah.
Probably was 2 lots. He probably combined the 2 to make it one. I
I
don't,
don't remember
I
that.
don't
remember either when he
either,
did
but-
that.
that would be my thought from Maple Street to Harker.
Yep, but I think we can put that down there as the motion. If that's what we're thinking.
And we have Where do we take this funding from? Out of the budget? Does that come out of the street department? Or where do we have that budgeted out?
Probably split it between them.
We don't have it budgeted.
Right.
I don't know if you put it in when you were setting up the budget already or not. I thought you
I
did.
think we did.
Because we
We did
have,
have to add it in.
because
But
we
we
have
knew
the
about it
estimate
before we
before
did
the
it.
budget.
Because we knew about it.
So yeah, I think it's in there. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you where right now. I had to go dig, but it was on there.
Well, I will make a motion to approve the quote from R1 Excavating for clearing East Broadway lots, pending talking to Chad, making sure it was just from Maple to Harker Street to be cleared.
And I will second that. Maybe he can come in and just talk to Kelly, get hold of him too.
Yeah, and if that's not the case, or.
Yeah, then let us know.
All right, so we have a quote from, or approval from Jean, or a motion from Jean to allow the quote from R1 Excavating to clear the East Broadway lots, pending clarification from Chad or Nick that how far it goes back from Maple to Harper. And second by Carol. Do we have any other questions or discussion?
And Kelly, you will call?
Mhm.
No, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, then all in favor of approving the quote to clear the East Broadway lots using the $16,500 excavation quote from R1 Excavating and Country Crushers to clear from Maple to Harker, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carries. Okay. All right, we were item 11. We have a quote on tinting these windows, those windows, and the lounge room windows. And one solution to cut down on heat, sun, glare, and fading UV rays. We can get another quote. I believe, Carol, you were just telling me you
Yep.
do have someone who could provide another quote, so that.
Yeah, I don't know if she does like the tinting of the windows or if she just does the drapes and blinds, but I would like to ask her. Because I know she does good work, and I know she did the library windows, and she's done a lot of.
So I'm on that
We'll have-
long
we'll
room
have
committee,
this.
so why wasn't I like, I guess, in the loop on this, since this is a.
I wasn't
Do you
either.
need a copy of this?
I have a copy of it, I guess. I mean, we have committees, why don't we use like, why are we just not this part of the committee?
I guess. Are we on that one?
We are on that one together, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know it either until I seen it here, but it's a good thing to probably check into. So, but I can get a hold of her and see if she does it, and if, we can bring it up at the next meeting.
Okay, so we want to.
Just want to table it?
To table it.
I'll make a motion to table it at this point until we get another bid, if it's possible.
Okay. Or any other solution, I guess, if she has other ways, or someone does.
I'll second.
Okay, we've had a motion by Carol and a second by Jean to table item number 11 to approve tinting of west-facing windows of the community building. Do we have any other questions or discussion? And none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of tabling item 11 to approve tinting of west-facing windows of community building, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carries. Item tabled. Okay, item 12 is to allow our police chief to go outside of our employee handbook limits because he's not currently allowed to or able to take vacation. Not allowed, I guess. Well, you can allow him to take vacation too, is another part of it. But at this time, the system apparently, G-Works is starting to limit him on the entry. It's built in there to stop at that certain point. So to override that, that should be a decision that you make, not just Michelle or anyone else, so.
So it's not allowing him to put his hours in?
Yeah, Nate, you wanna speak about that? I know you
Well,
talked about
I
previously,
mean,
they,
the payroll system has hit the cap where
Yeah.
it's just,
so it's, we have to allow him to record
Allow
it
him
and
to extend his
override it.
vacation over his vacation?
over the limits that we
So
set.
is that guy over in Sutherland, is he going to the academy or?
still in the academy.
He's at it right now?
When does he get back?
Third week of August, I think.
Well, that's not bad, I thought it'd be longer than that.
I did too.
Can we, just throw this out there, can we pay out his vacation, and then
Does he want
accrue
that, or-
it again, or that's?
I-
Prefer,
I'd like to have the vacation, but then that, on the other hand, that just caused more problems. Well, for one thing, the agreement with Sutherland
Yeah.
covers 2 weeks vacation back and forth total. So I'm, wherever I'm at, what do I got, like 5-6 weeks banked already? So I mean, there is the issue there.
Are you supposed to use that up by the first year or by July?
No, it's,
Anniversary date.
It's by their
Higher
anniversary
dates.
yeah,
Yeah, anniversary days, okay.
which is a whole other issue.
Well, when that comes up, make sure you tell us ahead of time,
Well, I
so we don't
wondered,
lose anything.
would it be possible for you to take a week and call the county if they would cover for you? I mean, if there's anything important, they don't have to come in. You know, there's no school going on right now or anything, so if you could take off some time before school started, I don't know if that's workable for you.
Well, I mean, I guess,
I just think it'd be nice.
one, I think I know what they're gonna say. 2, I think that probably the appropriate person to do that would probably be the city, or the
Yes.
appropriate entity
Mhm.
to do that. But
I just wondered if.
I know they have.
I don't think
They
it'll
don't wanna
fly.
cover
You
for
can
us.
certainly ask.
Well, I just think we should at least
I've talked
check.
to
I can see that you'd like a week of vacation.
Well, yeah, I can
Just then
say
to get out of
that.
here.
Yeah, I would.
you know, I mean, to kind of help alleviate this problem at our work, when there's, we have a policy that they can use a week of vacation and then choose to get paid out a week of vacation in lieu, so they can take a week off but get paid for 2 weeks.
Okay,
I mean, that's,
especially if he's this much over.
right, that helps to keep from going over.
Right. Whenever that comes up.
You know,
Do you, would
this
you,
idea could do
would you like
that.
something like that, Nate, where, so you don't, you're not gonna lose it? But just get paid
I
for
guess at
it?
this point, given how much we're talking, maybe some kind of payout would probably just be the simplest way to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we want you to have
Well, I
Still needs,
vacation.
Yeah.
still needs a break.
And I would like it, but like I say,
Yeah.
even if we had, I mean, right now, we don't know when we're gonna be fully staffed again.
Right.
And so it's a huge issue then, even when we do get somebody, then they're
They
gonna
have
be
to
kicking
leave.
up a bunch of overtime and not having days off, just trying to cover too. So,
Gotta take your classes and all that too.
Cause we haven't got any other applicants, have we?
Nothing that I've heard of.
Not that I've heard either.
Is it still out there? Are we still running it, an ad or not? Okay.
How about,
Vacation years from the
WIT,
anniversary
did
date,
anybody
carry
go
over
WIT
40.
and find out if
Carry over
any,
40
if
hours.
there's any criminal justice students that want?
Unused
I
disposal.
mean, we could override that and let his vacation accrue, but still, he would like some time off.
That's all.
Well, I
Yeah,
think,
it's
I
not
don't
the-
know,
it's not
Brenda
the-
should, the mayor should talk to Devereaux and see what's the sheriff and see if that would be at least, you know, this is kind of a special time, it just, we aren't getting anybody, so. At least check what he
I
says.
can call too on that, this was great.
Yeah, they don't, obviously, the county doesn't want to cover on a regular basis like in the past it
Yeah.
has, but I think, I would hope they'd be considerate of maybe
I
giving
would
at
think
least
so.
a week off so we could have some.
Yeah, just, at least you can get out of here for a little bit.
Yeah, I just felt you guys should be included in how to address that.
And I
since we're
agree
at
with
this.
Steve, and then maybe pay for him a week at least too, so there's 2 weeks gone. If we can get them to go along with one of them.
That'd be the way to do it.
Right, or if nothing else, and you can't leave and get time off, at least pay him something so
Yeah.
then that portion, that vacation is gone and it can accrue again.
Right.
Because I think the way I understand you, it's capped off and it won't accrue anymore.
Right.
Right, in the system, so you have to
Yeah, I
watch,
don't
keep
know.
track of it separately.
One
or-
thought-
Yeah, track it in your own
As far as just
paper, but.
manipulating the payroll software is maybe, like, could you, like, debit 100 hours or whatever, like I had taken it, and then back once I,
Oh, the
you
hand
know,
and
down the
back.
road, when I
Right,
burnt
just keep
down.
track of it on a
outside,
separate
you
sheet.
know, I don't know.
Yes,
That's what
I think that can be done too.
Yeah,
But I think we should try this just to see if we can
Yeah.
gain.
Because, yeah, you gotta- depending how long this goes, rather than have to manually add it all the time, it'd be
Right.
nice to be able to figure some way that the software could, which then, yeah, then there was, also in that same note was, I don't know if there's still a bug in the software, but there was a couple of weird places where the accrual jumped beyond what it should have, so I don't know what the deal was there.
But you got that straightened out.
She's, yeah, she was out now.
I just let them know about it.
Oh, okay.
Just the other day.
Sunday
Oh.
night.
Friday,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Oh,
she did
okay.
Monday,
Oh,
when they
so
did
it
payroll.
just- oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There was a note on there, so.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they gave me that notice, so it's like, well, I mean, we had issues with it before, and I'd never gone back and actually checked the accrual, so I finally went back and checked the accrual, and I actually did go every pay period adding what would add in, and I found out it didn't add up, so. Which, I mean, it was in my favor, it was giving me more than I figured it should have been, but still. And especially because it just,
Gotta watch
I
that
don't know.
machine.
Stick it to the
You know,
man.
I think one place, I think it might have just been, because at one point the software was only showing the accrual every month. It's like it'd go 2 pay periods showing the same thing, and then it'd show accrual. And then, so I think they kind of got that fixed, and maybe they were trying to correct it there, because all of a sudden there was a jump. But then a couple of pay periods after that, I noticed all of a sudden it jumped again for no apparent reason, so.
Who knows?
I don't know if she works.
It's
We'll let her
great
look that
system.
more
You'll be
when
doing-
she's back. But does anyone have a solution they would like to propose for our action tonight to allow?
I think we should table it until next meeting and find out our different things that we can do.
Our options.
Talk to Deborah option and
Yeah. I
whatever
move
else.
that we table this till next meeting and find out our options.
Okay, Jay's made a motion to table item 12.
12.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Gina supported that motion. So Jay has made the motion and Gina seconded to approve to approve tabling the item 12 to, which is related to the handbook, employee handbook related to the police chief's vacation accrual. Do we have any other questions or discussion related to that? Okay, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving tabling item 12 until further options are provided, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carries. Item tabled.
I would like to add, not because of that part, but also maybe to check with, somebody asked about seeing with criminal justice, like WIT or something like that, if we should put an ad over there,
Is there a placement officer?
that we could maybe
over
see
there?
if somebody
Those
else
colleges
is
all have
interested.
placement people.
Yeah, I looked up on their website, something up to that effect, and I forwarded the link to, I think, to the deputy clerk email, so I don't know
Okay.
who would have got it, or whether they did anything with
And apparently there's that Lakes area group consortium that they had where they try to get multiple people, candidates together through the system, but they only had one candidate for all of that. And it was several towns together, so that is not a good source either. I did hear about that thing, so we're sounding like we're striking out on a lot of options here.
Well, maybe WIT, I don't know. Don't they do it?
That's all I know.
Yeah. I just think we should send something somewhere to see if we can get some apps, maybe.
Okay. All right, we are to item 13, appoint a building official per chapter 2.01, which I didn't grab that here, but it is, if anyone has that, we could not copy that also on Friday, or Monday. It is listed as page 276. You need to appoint or designate a building official who would determine that when a dangerous building, to determine that a dangerous building exists. And that is, then there are code steps on how to handle that. So apparently that has never been done in anyone's history before. Just ignored that page of the code.
So they're responsible for condemning a building, is that what you said?
Yes.
I think Sheldon has done that, some over there, so they might have some ideas or how
We've
they
had
do it.
a resident reach out, a property owner, asking us to condemn something.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's when we started looking into what was
Should
that
be,
process.
should be a citizen of the, or does that be somebody here, or can it be like a contractor or something
It
like that?
just said designate or appoint a building official. It did not say any other rules here. It's on page 276. So it does not elaborate what their skill level should
I know
be,
we
but
went through this one time when I was on the council before about a building downtown that somebody tried
the
to.
building official shall be responsible for the enforcement of this ordinance. The council may either appoint a person to be the building official or designate some other officer to carry out the duties of the building official. And basically, the building official is the person then who follows the rules of general definition of unsafe and shall examine or cause to be examined every building or structure or portion thereof that was reported as dangerous or damaged, and if found to be unsafe, then it gives notice and follow those steps.
Is there a regular book in there that tells what's unsafe?
The definitions, general definition of unsafe. Don't write on that one, but that's the one here. So yes, it does list quite a few things.
Well, does this position get paid?
Is this a paid position or?
I don't know.
It doesn't say.
Sheldon, though, I know has done something. Some guy would, like in a trailer court or someplace, wouldn't clean it up. And they were after him and after him, gave him so many days, and he wouldn't, and then so they condemned it. And I think they ended up tearing it down, or having somebody tear it down, but, so whether they have an official, and maybe they can tell you something, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
all the
remember
code
reading it in the
says.
paper,
It's only those 2.5 pages of the whole code, so.
so I have
Well,
no
there's a few
idea.
houses in town that are under this.
Correct.
I know it was all
Yeah.
brought before their council.
Wreck, warp, or buckle. Okay. We went through this when I was on the council the first time. Somebody tried to get a downtown building condemned. And we went through it, and I don't want to talk about it.
48 hours or 90 days.
Because it was a touchy subject. It was a,
So do we, I guess we need to decide before we appoint somebody if it's gonna be.
and we never
We
did.
gotta find out all the rules.
We need to find out all the rules
Oh, we
before
just
we
gotta
can
know
appoint.
whether we're
Well,
paying them or how it all works.
The person wanted to condemn in their favor, you know, for something because of what was going on with the other building, yeah, next door.
I think we need some more information on it.
I did too.
So this person does it on their own?
I think we need to probably need to talk to Tish to see if it's gonna be paid or non-paid and what their,
I think if it were paid, it would have stated that in your ordinance.
Yeah.
It doesn't say
Yeah.
anything about
It says,
compensation.
it says to appoint, is that what it says?
Appoint or designate. May either appoint a person or designate some other officer to carry out the duties of the building official. Appoint a person, so it doesn't even say an elected person, or it doesn't have to be one of you, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't say anything. Just, it's like two sentences. Try to use the exact terminology.
Maybe check with Sheldon and see what they did.
I don't think
or if we're
Yeah,
changing
I-
our ordinance, we can
yeah, the
do
way
something
I
else.
explained it this
You wanna
morning,
change
and I
another
didn't have a
ordinance?
chance to look at it, today, but, yeah, I don't think that we've ever run across this or had discussion about this before, so this is something new to us. I know it's been in the ordinance for quite some time.
When we did it, we went as a council to
to the place.
Well, maybe that's what we have to do, all the council.
It was a group thing to look at it, we looked at it, yes.
But then we didn't do anything with it.
No, because we felt that, I don't know, the Tisha had something to do with it, and so you talked to her about it. I don't wanna,
Yeah, so this building official, what, does it specify authority in there and that?
I think they just make a decision. and probably bring
He
it-
shall
a
examine or
recommendation,
possibly
bring it back
examine
to
every
us.
building structure
That's
reported
what it
as
kinda
damaged,
sounds
dangerous or
like.
damaged, yeah.
He doesn't come in and say, this is condemned, he just brings it back to us.
And then they have to inspect it again once the improvements have been made to make sure that they did what they were supposed to do. It
Yes.
says that's the only at the end.
Right.
So
I'm
they have
guessing
the right
that-
to make it better.
I'm guessing that person reports to the council or reports to.
Yeah, you decide, it says the, doesn't really say, yeah, the
Yeah.
council may appoint, so appoint or designate, so I assume you would report to council with this, any information, yes. And that's the person who then goes to notice to owner, it says in that section. And if the city council may order the owner of the building prosecute as a violator of the provisions and may order the building official to proceed with the work specified in such notice, so then it goes on to the what next, if it proceeds.
Okay.
Should we get it, like Carol said, get ahold of somebody,
Lawyer?
Sheldon and
Well,
whatever,
If
and
somebody's
find out
done it,
actually
how
what the
or-
job
Right,
entails.
what they did,
Yeah,
they're close.
I think that Kelly should.
Well, but our ordinance specifies.
Look at-
I know, but just to me, it still doesn't hurt to find out
That's why what we have to do.
how they did it.
Because we have to go by that.
I know, but don't
That's-
you think they got ordinances like that too?
But we have to follow ours.
We have-
I know, I agree, but don't you think,
It's gotta be somebody that knows the ordinances,
right,
yes.
but
Well,
you
that's
still,
These two
I understand
pages.
that, but we have an ordinance, and that's our
I never
ordinance,
hammered
we
it
have
down
to follow
before, so
that.
that throws me out. Somebody that's been a carpenter, Steve.
That would be a good thing.
That might be a good thing if we
It
could
would
get
be.
somebody that's not us, but that's a carpenter or something that understands building codes.
right.
What about Ryan?
Ryan! I mean, tell me you know absolutely nothing about buildings.
Ryan's keeping his head down. I didn't hear you.
There was some comment about a fire chief, but that was, I don't think, in anywhere here. Oh, yes, and whenever a structure, building or structure because of obsolescence, dilapidated condition, anyway, lots of things, lack of sufficient fire-resistant construction, faulty wiring, then in that case, as determined by the state fire marshal or city fire chief to be a fire hazard. So that is one of the categories, number 10,
Things
is
they
why it
check
is
on?
considered an unsafe building. It's related.
Do we have
So
a
this
problem with
person
this
could
right now? Is there? or-
Yes, like I said, someone asked about
Oh,
property they
about
would like us
property.
to condemn, and I was like, well,
Okay.
that's normally not how that goes. Normally the city tells someone.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out why they would want that and how that process is. Is it say we pay for it or something? That would be weird. So we're trying to figure that out because that was the request that Michelle has heard. So this
Well,
is
I
how we
think-
discovered this page in the code.
Yeah, it's good, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
like I said, I asked about this morning, but I did not have time to look at it today. I wouldn't mind having more time to look at it and read that ordinance over.
Well, you'd have to know building codes,
You'd have
because the
to-
way I read it.
Yeah, you'd
because
have to know the zoning.
Zone.
Our- yeah,
zoning.
our zoning.
Zoning, and, well, mainly the building codes, because it says, dilapidation and what,
Yeah,
settling, all that.
yeah, this wouldn't even be part of zoning, you really, it's just,
No, this isn't zoning, this is building codes.
yeah,
Unless there's someone on your board of appeals who would like to, that would be a related
right,
category
Mhm.
who someone there could also
I would
take this
keep them
role.
out of that,
yeah.
because you need to use them as the appeals.
They can't
But a
cross
former
over.
member.
Oh, right.
How about a retired member from there? Is there a retired member?
Somebody's got big shoulders. Because you know you're gonna catch it.
But yes, it does talk about to determine whether a plumb line passing through the center of gravity does not fall inside the middle 1/3 of the base. So it's gotta be someone who can, if that's a
Knows that
concern, would have to be able
terminology.
to handle that. But otherwise, any portion is wrecked or buckled, settled, has less than 20 pounds per square foot resistance wind pressure. Get your blow dryer out. Blow that on there.
Before there's anybody that's gay,
I think we need to like, yeah,
there needs to be some discussion on what's gay happened and a job description.
I think just maybe people talk to a few people and see if they would be willing to do it, and then maybe at the next council meeting.
Should we find out from another community, like I said, find out what they do? If it's
Who the person is, you mean?
yeah, like if it's somebody in the community, or if it's a city official, or
Carpenter?
It probably would be best to have with a city official.
Yeah.
So who is your city official? Who does that include? That is
Yeah.
Michelle Kelly?
Well, that would include
Or Alex?
pretty much all of
yeah.
us sitting here.
Alex, Michelle Kelly?
Oh,
Nate?
yeah. We're coming up with some good names to ask.
Oh, good.
After we find out more.
Yeah.
Let's do some more research on
I think
this.
so too.
Before railroad tracks get laid.
So I need a motion to table item 13.
I'll make a motion to table item 13, appoint a building official.
Okay.
I'll second.
Support by Lexi. Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Motion by Gina, second by Lexi to table item 13, appointing a building official per building code chapter 2.01. Do we have any other questions, clarification, or otherwise discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of tabling item 13, appointing a building official per building code chapter 2.01, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes. Motion carries. Item tabled. Okay, item 14. The city's airport terminal building pursue alternatives for summer sprayer use. How many of you have been in or near the building in the past few days or month or years?
Steve and I were just in it last month.
I was just in
Carol
the
and I
today.
went through it, and Kelly and I
Oh,
went
you
through
guys
it.
went in it today?
Yeah, he called me and he said, have you been out here lately? And I said, nope.
I think that was about a month ago. We were in there with Kelly.
I was out there a couple weeks ago.
Yep,
Did it look,
it's awful.
It's awful, but it's not condemnable.
No.
You know, it's,
according to the condemnable list on this, it is condemnable. I mean, like.
I tell you what, then we got a lot of houses
Oh,
in this town to tear down.
yes, facts,
Because when
yeah.
I did heating and cooling, there was a lot of the houses in this town that looked a lot worse.
Dilapidation, deterioration, or decay, faulty construction, not really problem, the removal, movement, or instability of any portion or ground, supporting it, decay, deterioration of foundation. Is foundation fine? Never
Well, I
good?
don't mind, I believe in tearing it down now, but I don't think we should do it right 10 seconds from now and
That's
put
fine.
it, spend $5,000,
It's been
$6,000
40
or
years
something.
out there, right? 45 or so since that building
Yeah.
was moved out there, and it hasn't gotten better. So inadequate maintenance, including lack of paint to expose wood to rotting, dilapidation, decay, wilt, roof, rot.
Yeah.
It's all in there, so it has all those things. That's a fact. So no, you don't have to condemn it, but you need to do something, and the urgency was brought upon us when we realized 690 some people were coming by to get pancakes, and they did, and I just thought a fresh coat of paint, so we first discussed paint when he came in to pick up his paycheck thing. So we were discussing paint, and then when we went out and looked at it, it didn't look like it would be worth doing the painting because it was probably not gonna last. The wood is not gonna hold the paint.
No, it's not gonna hold.
So you could have just gussied it up on the outside, but that doesn't fix the inside where the actual people that pay us to use it go in. So it's unfair to them to make it look nice on the outside and then let them keep working inside this facility that is not very good.
They're gonna be here
In like 10 days.
Yeah, less than 2
Less
weeks
than that.
working.
Correct?
Next Tuesday?
I didn't think it was that bad inside, you know.
I mean, don't they just use it to put computers in, sit in there till, I mean, they're hardly in there.
No, I was told they were
Are you
there
with the
for days,
sprayers then?
6 weeks straight, for days on
That's why
end there.
Yeah, see, I was in it with Carol, I showed her, and Kelly, And that mold piece has been there for 3 years, because I tried to do something 3 years ago, and then Steve tried to do something a couple of years ago, and the prices were too high.
Right.
So we just have to throw it in, but we need to get somebody in there and really look at what we can do.
Well-
And what it's end up gonna be is we're gonna have to tear the whole thing out and start over.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so Jay and I are on the airport committee, and I've been working on something, but I haven't brought it to Jay yet because I haven't got all the numbers yet. So I been working with Dave Comos and drawing up some stuff, and he hasn't gotten back to me because one, his dad's not doing very good. Two, he is waiting for people for materials and stuff to get back. So when I got that quote back, I was gonna bring it to Jay because I'm the chairman of the airport, and Jay's on it with me, and gonna talk to see if we wanted to bring it to you council. But then obviously I get all this on Tuesday, what's going on, and we're on the airport committee.
Are you talking about making it the same size, or are you
Yep.
making it,
A whole
okay?
new building, no.
Whole new building?
Whole
now?
new building,
See, I don't think
on the
I don't-
same.
On the same one?
Same.
See, I don't know about that slab, I know.
Dave went out there with me and
He
he's.
thinks we can do the slab? Okay.
Yep.
Is it a slab or is it just a footings?
It's a
foundation. It has
no-
no-
there's
crawl space under it.
Oh, there's a
Yes.
crawl space under it?
Yes, there's
Oh,
crawl
shit,
space.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's just crawl space on
crawl
that.
space.
Been in there many times.
So,
Lucky you.
Yeah.
so,
So I went out there, it gets smaller every
and
year.
Steve went out and got me measurements.
Oh, it's settling then, huh?
Yeah.
This is. Well, just so you know, when you asked me to go out and get some measurements and help with that, then that's when I went out with Lexi and helped get the measurements and stuff. And then she sat down with Dave and drew a sketch and kind of gave him an idea of what, she
Yeah.
wanted, or.
Well, we talked
So
about
the
it.
building would be on the same foundation and
Yeah.
the same size.
I don't think that's bad, but we only need one bathroom. And it'll be his, her with disability, but we were talking, it's probably gonna have 2 doors, remember, too, so.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't need all those big gigantic
No.
windows.
No.
No.
And then I told Carol and
I was gonna make
Kelly-
something about something with Airbnb, because I think it would get very good reviews, and something with Airbnb in it.
Who's gonna take care of it?
I will.
We can legally rent that out, insurance and all, and if you have to keep it open 24/7 so if someone's renting it out, but an pilot stops and needs to
See,
use
that's
the
gotta be
bathroom.
used as
Yeah.
that, for the people flying with airplanes too, so
Yeah.
you know, there's a couple eating supper and some guy comes in, oh, I gotta use the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah. So,
And I said too about, we could put a mini split unit in,
yep,
and that for air conditioning, but they have ones that throw heat too, like a heat pump.
Yep.
yep. Dave has all,
I
yep.
think Dave.
Did he say
suggested
that?
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think it's gotta be the, Astoria, but it's gotta be decent inside,
Well, if you start with new, it should be decent.
Yep.
Something that's gonna last,
So
Did
you're
he
just
think
gonna wait
about
till we get
around the
your
base of the?
Figures,
That's why I haven't brought it to
Put-
council. I don't have any of the
put
figures
block-
yet. I don't
put
have.
block down, so that.
and when you
Jack
get that,
off.
we'll
Yep.
get it on the agenda and discuss it. I don't know. if
That
we
is
need-
one thing that has never been budgeted. You talk about budgets, it has not, yet we have spoken about
Yep.
the budget gaining the income has been there, and the budget we've given him, you don't use it up usually, right? Correct? In the past, I've only seen a year and a half or so.
Yeah, I think that usually we budgeted like 2,000 for repairs, and I haven't spent much of it until this last week.
So we
And then we
we
should
should
have
quite a
all the
bit
money
then,
from the
that
sprayers in
building.
there.
Or somewhere you should have years
Which we
worth
better
of
So-
get that on the
So
agenda.
the fact that you don't
You
even
wanna
spend
try and talk about
$2,000 a year is
separating that
kind
out
of a
into
sad
their
situation.
fund to always keep it there.
Yes.
Yep.
I have a
Or it should be
question for
invested
Steve.
regularly, yes.
Are they gonna put that right on that foundation, or are they gonna put block on there to get that up off the, cause that's sitting pretty good in the ground
It
there.
sits low to the ground.
Yeah.
So yes, they could easily put another course there, whether they poured or set a row of block.
Yeah.
And then he suggested, it's got a dirt floor in it, and he suggested that, do a vapor barrier, pour concrete in there, have a sump pump. So if there's any water or anything that gets in there, because I think it has, that they're able to keep that crawl space dry.
So that's actually a wood floor in there then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got wood floor joists. And the reason it sags in the center, I went and looked under there, I didn't go down inside, I hung my head under and looked. But it's essentially like two buildings put together.
Yeah.
And it spans the length of the building going north and south, and there's one center support, and it's cement blocks stacked up, and it's on the dirt, and then it eventually over the years sunk into that dirt, so that's why that floor is sagging. But the floor joists and everything are in good condition. It's just that that center support sunk and sagged.
See, that makes it easier for the plumbing then. 'Cause I thought it was concrete where we'd have to tear up the floor and redo, so.
It's, you look down in there, you can see all the plumbing in there and see the electrical and everything. It would be easy.
Yeah, that's a lot better. I thought it was gonna be like cement slab, so we'd be.
Right, no.
See, that was actually one building that they added onto, you can tell by the roof line, where the roof goes like
Yeah,
this, it goes like this.
I don't know if it was, if they added on, but I think at one time, originally, that came from one of the old elevators.
Yeah.
And I think there was.
Somebody told me that was the old elevator.
Two buildings stuck together.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
that's
think just
better.
let, I mean, if
Then I know that they're
usable, let them
floor
use it, and then
joists.
after they're done using it, then that's when we need to figure out what we're gonna do. I mean, we have sprayers coming.
Well, we don't
Yeah,
have
well,
time to do it
right.
now.
Yeah.
They can use it,
Right.
it's not that.
No.
Well, they were there last year, the year before that, and it didn't look any better, so they're okay. It didn't just get dirtier.
Hell, as long as they got an air
Rotten.
conditioner and a refrigerator or microwave, that's all they care
And a
about.
bathroom.
That's all they care about, isn't it? Yeah. They're pilots and stuff, they've been probably a lot worse.
Well, and then maybe what we could do is meet as a group on a work session and brainstorm on what we're gonna do.
Yep,
How we're
at a
gonna-
workshop.
And how we're gonna do that.
Well, I wonder if there's even some grants for
Right.
doing this. I think
We
we should
need
check
to-
with that Darren, if he would
That's
know.
what I looked too. Have you found any?
Well,
yet?
the-
Go that far.
The state grants for like buildings, they're only open for application between like March and May every year.
That's it?
Yep.
Yeah, because they give them out in April, don't they? I always see in the paper. But,
So we have to wait till March to
Or April?
put anything in, and then, but we have to have everything together to know how much the whole project is gonna
Okay.
be before we can do all that. But, and there's no guarantee that you can get it.
No, right,
no,
Well, and we've been getting paid for the spraying for
Right.
yeah.
right.
some amount of time, I don't know how long, but
And I don't know how much we got in that budget either.
we should
Sitting
have
there.
that.
It's not
We should have that
really
from
clear.
last year
Huh?
yet.
We should
Yeah, we have
have it.
last year's I can find, but I don't know beyond that where it
Where it
goes,
went.
where it necessarily went, but.
There should be money there,
Right.
I know.
But I think it's gonna be a little bit better since you said that about the floor joists.
Right.
Because I thought it was concrete down there, so.
Yeah, no, there's a crawl space. And
But I think that we should put blocks around the outside so that it gets it up off the ground.
It would
So
be
when I
nice
get
to
the
raise
plans,
it
I'll
up.
bring it, we
Yeah,
can sit
yeah,
and.
do, yeah.
It would be nice to raise it up, 8 inches.
All it has to be is a big garage actually without a garage door. You know. Insulated, electric.
Insulation would be
Huh?
good.
Yep.
Well,
True,
let's,
true.
I mean, that's what I.
It's gonna cost us because everything's going
Yeah,
up, but
everything
still,
costs.
you
Well,
know.
and in between, while you finish your stuff up, then Brenda, or that she can have the girls check to see if we can find that money and where we're at with
Yeah.
dollars.
yeah, let's get
I
it,
don't think
get
that's
it.
gonna cover it
And
from
then
last
by-
year. I don't even know. Didn't somebody say there was an 80,000 bid 2 years, 3
Well,
years ago?
The
80,000
money that we got
you know.
definitely is not gonna cover a new structure, but
No.
it would be a good start.
No.
And hopefully we can figure out how to fund it.
Right.
So let's get them through the spraying season,
Yeah.
get the spraying done, and then.
See where we're at, and then when I get the plans, I'll bring it to Jay and see what we
We'll
wanna
just talk
do.
about it.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Then we could all look at it and say,
Yeah.
do we need
Yeah,
this, do we
this or
need that,
that.
do we need this? Because it's not, all it's gotta be is a big open building and a bathroom.
You know, I talked to Brian Feltman, and he said, he goes to different airports, some of them he flies into, they're very nice. They're an icon of their city. It's very nice. And he said they don't have rundown airport terminals like ours, and he's been to a lot of small airports.
Well, go to Milford though.
Milford's is rough?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
That's
did,
what we just need to publish there.
what did Primgar have for one?
Theirs is all
They
over
didn't.
town.
They took theirs all.
They
They
got
didn't
rid
have
of
one, did they?
No.
They never even had a runway.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they
really did.
It was a short runway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they got rid of their
Well, they got a
hangar and
hangar,
everything.
yeah, I guess the.
They never did have a one. Now, are we required to have one, Brian?
Well, we have to have some place to put our phone, so, you know,
Okay.
there's some places.
Well, I could
like
build
Mapleton
an outhouse and put it
have
in
the
that.
phone hanging on the side of the hangar.
If we could just build an outhouse and just put it in there, a phone in there.
Yeah, I've seen that done, but
Yeah,
it'd be nice to have something better.
outhouse, so then they got a toilet too.
I
Two
wouldn't
in one.
recommend doing an outhouse. You lose spring business if you do just an outhouse.
I can believe that.
I can guarantee
We need
that.
I mean, those.
If we're gonna
we
keep
need
the
to have-
airport,
That's the
I think
question
we
I
should
have
do
too
something
about
decent.
this.
Yeah, we need to have a nice.
Pancakes supper, whenever you go to anything like that, they always bring in porta potties.
What
Why
did you
don't they
do for
have
the
to bring
fly-in?
a
Did
porta
you do some
potty?
porta potties?
They have 2 porta potties.
They did?
Okay.
And maybe that's something that we probably should do for the spray planes. Have that out there.
That's up to you guys.
That might not be a bad idea, because it's pretty crappy.
Unintended.
Your guys leave
Well,
your
The
computer and
good
stuff out
bathroom
there
was locked
overnight?
up, you didn't get to
And
see
the building-
No,
that.
I didn't, was that the good one?
Oh.
Yeah.
The clean
Yeah,
ones
okay,
and
because the other one, ugh.
So I have a question. When the sprayers come, they leave their computers out there overnight. The building is not locked. What happens if that shit gets stolen?
That's
Probably
that's
like
their problem.
Yeah.
Their
Why- why
insurance,
would-
our insurance, yeah, who covers
Who's
that?
on that, who's on that committee?
There's an insurance
They
committee.
just talked to those two.
They bring their tablets or laptops with them.
They should probably just leave their
They take them.
desktop.
Maybe we should not mention that it's not locked.
Yeah,
It's locked, everybody.
There's a monitor and I think printers there, correct? And then I think they take their
Okay.
laptops.
No,
and
I didn't
tablets.
see that.
Okay.
They take them with them all the time.
I
Okay.
didn't think they'd want them with them.
We're out there from sun up, before sun up to after
After
sundown.
sundown.
So,
Long time.
Then you do take your expensive, most expensive use, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, well then we can just have a motion to remove from consideration item 14.
I'll make the motion to remove that.
Okay, Lexi's made a motion to remove item 14 from consideration. Do I have a second or support?
I'll second.
Jean, that was you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Jean seconded. So I had a motion and a second, motion by Lexi and a second by Jean to remove from consideration item 14 on the agenda. Do I have any other discussion?
Well, I think we're moving forward. Sounds good.
Plan would be nice, a plan that actually finishes,
Yes,
finish
we
line
could
would be
get it
nice.
done. Yep.
So all in favor of removing from consideration item 14, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carried, item removed from consideration. Okay, that puts us at reports. Reports, we have, you got your newsletter, which I'm sort of reporting together for Michelle, who's taken a nice vacation for her, doesn't really like her first vacation day, I think finally.
The whole day.
And so she's been trying to fill in for her, and we said we didn't have to make her come back. So you have this one out with bills, everyone should have had theirs or should be getting them. They've also modified the budget billing for some people, the level payment and
I
level
didn't even
payment
know we
plan.
did that, that we had, or that we had automatic, or you did
Level pay or budget
Yeah.
billing.
budget billing.
So apparently, yeah, those needed, many of them needed to be adjusted, so they went through and analyzed
And
people.
why,
and
how do you
informed
figure
them.
out the adjustment?
If
Just
they're
go for
too
the
high or too
previous
low,
year.
yeah.
Just
A year worth
add
of
them up and
usage.
average them out.
Oh, okay.
And then divide that by 12, and then that's your, so that way
That's
you
your
cover your
pay.
highs and your lows. and
I
you're
see,
paying more
okay.
in
You just
winter
do
probably
each
than-
individual then.
We've always had this.
Yes,
See,
yeah.
Budget
I
pay.
even did budget
It's
pay
available to
for
everybody.
I've had it
utilities.
since I've been
I
here.
never heard that.
Never
No,
heard that.
really?
I've
Did
been
you?
on the council for
I didn't either.
almost
Did
8
you?
years. and
Oh,
never
until
heard
some-
that.
Even pay for utilities here.
I knew that.
I
Well,
never
I've
heard
been
that.
on that
I'm
since I
glad we're
moved in
told
here.
that the
Really?
city's
Yeah.
told
We
us.
will get you
Never
a
heard of it.
copy of the level
We
payment
know.
plan. Right now, she only knows the
Yeah,
ones
but I
that
had
are,
budget billing
have
for
their
the
people's
gas.
at
I do
What the hell
too.
is that?
Yeah.
I have the budget for
tripled.
gas, but I've never heard it for the city.
For here.
Yeah, me either.
Jeannie
Never.
didn't either.
She's trying to make sure that people don't get in arrears either too far, either.
Well, and I
they-
think
Is
it's a good
that,
idea.
is that just for
Yeah.
electric?
But
It is for all our.
All the utility
All our,
bills.
yeah.
Cool,
Not
I'll
Yeah.
do that.
So we will get you that level payment plan sheet so you see what it's, how it
You better
works.
put that on your next little.
All right.
I bet you
Oh,
there's a lot more
here,
people than us three that didn't
They
know
Oh,
it.
I'm sure.
I've never heard anybody.
Well, probably the people that move into town, they know about it.
Yeah.
You know, we've been here for.
Well, it's not ideal for
long.
people that just move. You have to be in your property for a year though, otherwise your usage wouldn't
Right,
apply.
you would have nothing to figure out.
You wouldn't be using the last person's data to make yours. So yes, we do have that in there. We have budget billing, your account, auto pay budget billing, and your complaint resolution process. We talk about the rebates, which all of you should know about. The Energy Star and Bright Energy Solutions from MRES has a bunch of rebates. And we mentioned about the fluoride, which is now ceasing to exist in our system, correct? And then we tried to just talk about all the other things that people come in or call Alex and Michelle about. From planning, zoning, pets, mowing, trimming, mosquitoes, and golf carts. So hopefully that answers some questions. I won't, if there's anything else right now that needs to be said. So we'll go to Kelly. Kelly's report is here. You don't have one? Yes, there's an extra too if you don't have it.
We had handicap spaces, clean intakes, fix the mulch and fabric underneath the swings at the park. I almost think we should get some of those pads to put under the swings, because I see all the mulch is kicked out from underneath the swings again.
Really?
So,
It was good there at Jamboree.
well, we did it.
Yeah, did it.
Before Jamboree, so.
Yep.
There's a post down at the park, stood that back up, painted it. Switched out the meter for the hydrovac trucks. Cut roots out of sewer main on North Rutledge and Nate's main. Poured concrete at Mill Creek Clinic for the runoff off the road, the water. Trim trees, fix the electric meter on North Main, fix some street lights. Demolished a shed for the well at the treatment plant and hauled that to the landfill. Read in, read outs, painted lines downtown, the city park and city ball field. Hooked up electric service for the T-Mobile. Set barricades out, took them down for Jamboree, hooked up temp electric for Jamboree. Washed bucket truck and pickup, pumped out drain at Richter's, in Swanson there. Fixed water meter at Muller's shop. Checked water meter at Miller's. Took temp electric from Jamboree. Replaced cleaned up area for pole behind Glenda. Fixed manhole lid at Lagoon between cell 3 and 5. Locates jetted sewer. We did have a compressor at the Lagoon. Is not working. I emailed the company for prices on that, and I have Dustin was gonna look into seeing if he could get one also. But I also don't, maybe it'd be a good idea just to use that money we have set aside and maybe just at least buy the equipment, and then that money's used up and we can use those instead of buying I don't know how much that compressor will be for the new one,
You're talking about that American fund money? Is that what you're talking?
Have you got a hold of the, people to blacktop, people to come fix the streets and the potholes and all that?
They plan on coming this year.
Coming sometime this year?
We gotta get that money used up.
By
24.
the 20,
By
by next year.
24.
Yeah.
24,
Yep,
otherwise
right.
we lose it.
Oh, the lagoon.
Yep, for the lagoon.
Yeah.
Why'd you come up with a price on
So
that,
you have-
whatever you're looking at?
We talked about that too, and we don't know if he's gonna contact the DNR if we actually need it.
Oh,
Aeration.
Aeration.
I see. Okay. Sounds good.
We're overbuilt out there for the size of town we have, but we are overbuilt because we used to have the land plant,
Oh, sure.
and I don't know if they'll allow us to stop using aeration or not, so we'll look into that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Any other questions for Kelly, or you good? Nate, do you have anything to report tonight?
Jamboree parade and the fireworks traffic. Anything else?
Nothing else? Fireworks, it's fun. Speaking of fireworks, any problems on your end? Next, you're next. Mr. Ryan. Any fireworks problems on your end? Hopefully not.
No,
Okay, good.
pager never went off.
Awesome.
Cool.
The rain probably
Rain is
helped.
right time.
Yeah.
All right, do you have anything to report?
Yes,
Okay.
so last meeting, we were talking about the whole no parking street issue, and I came prepared because I thought that was gonna be on the agenda, but anyway, so I went, pretty much measured dang near every street in town, and we had 15 blocks in this town of 25-foot wide streets. So I'm pretty much come to the conclusion that they took a cup of dice and rolled the dice and decided that's what we're going for that street. So, because there's no rhyme or reason on how they're built. But with that being said, with 15 blocks, this is affecting a whole lot more people than just one block of people. So my suggestion is that we plan a public information meeting and hopefully not turn into a mudslinging contest, and I'll get a presentation ready. So I have some roadway information and stuff like that, so. But yeah, a 25-foot street is not a standard street. That is a carriage street. So
What width is a standard street?
31 feet.
31 feet?
I need up your budget, streets budget.
Because yeah, it's definitely a problem that we need to address, because going up and down Willow Street during football season is a total nightmare, politely. So that definitely needs to be addressed. I don't like to walk any farther than anybody else, but that's a huge hazard trying to get through there.
If you had to get through, yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, and that's just one of many streets that is an issue. So, but yeah, I definitely feel that we need to collectively, with town patrons, address this situation, so.
Do you have them all listed? Can we figure out a way to draw or mark a map to also submit out when we have the meeting, so that you have it mapped ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So that we provide that,
I
so
don't
people
come
affected,
unprepared.
so people affected are able to know whether they are affected or not.
That sounds good.
Perfect. And we want that as a separate night of the meeting, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think too, it should be
Maybe,
for the residents to come.
I think we call it as like a workshop, and then they come with their ideas, and then that gives us time as councils to figure out what we wanna do, and then at a meeting, figure out what we're gonna do.
Well, I don't know if it's a workshop, or otherwise just an open meeting for residents to
Yeah.
come.
Or
no,
So,
on that topic.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just call it an open meeting, and anybody wants to publish it, publish it in the paper and the
Right.
websites and all that, that this is what's gonna be going on at such and such a date in the law room. And then if you can put some of yours on your, so everybody can see.
You'll create a presentation
Yep.
and
Yep.
have that ready, and
Yep.
let us know
Okay.
when you're ready for that, and we'll
Yep.
schedule
Do we
something.
want to set a date right now?
No,
Okay?
Let's kind of wait till you get ready.
Okay. All right.
I gotta get my malware changed, so when they start throwing knives,
Doc, get it up to date.
Yep.
All right, gotcha.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right, and that passes us on to now Lori. Matt, are you here for library speak?
Yeah,
Okay.
first off, just a huge thank you to Kelly and the city guys for turning off the security light for us and for getting us barriers and stuff. We had close to 50 people come out for movie night, so
Cool.
at the end of summer reading last week. So that was really great, thank you so much. One of the things I wanted to ask about was the library was considering doing a kite flying evening, but we were wondering about using the ball diamonds since that's an open area without power lines. But we don't know who to ask since it's a
Swanson
city
or
and a,
the
yes, Swanson. Is that, who should I ask that question for if we want to
Sorry,
do
Swanson.
that?
Find
Swanson
out at
Commission.
the
I don't know if
games.
it's a joint situation, yeah, right.
Kelly's on it, so.
Like, we're not gonna rip up the fields, it's just we're gonna be out on the field, and we didn't wanna have everyone, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, so.
I mean, I think ours is open as not needed at scheduled times. I assume the Swanson is the similar way, but yeah, they are a little more particular about their
Mhm.
grass than we are. But they're about, I think they should all be done
They're
playing
done.
there. Oh, they're not?
They're done.
They're done, yeah, like, they're done. They're playing tonight, actually, girls are. But it won't be coming back through Paullina, so
Okay,
I would say ask Keith Reichley is.
yep, I got his number, so I just
It's
didn't wanna
not
start
him
here.
anymore, but he would be the best. He will get in touch with the two that are
Okay.
running it, and then they would, I would.
And then, we're gonna do our bike riding activity night, we usually did that in July, early August, we're gonna do that the last Saturday in August instead, so just keep your eyes open for that. We'll do a Saturday afternoon bike safety, and then we'll have a bike around town to different people's porches, and it's also, wrapping that into this worldwide event they call Make Music on Your Porch, and so we're gonna invite people to have music and travel around town. So,
Like the 26th.
the 26th, Saturday the 26th.
So it's just for my speakers.
That's the last
Deck and-
Play
Saturday.
music, not play music.
Oh,
Yes,
vape
that's
music.
awesome.
Oh.
Get your bando out or something.
Oh,
That's what.
I gave up banjo years ago.
This time, they've got a month to practice.
Yeah.
There you
right,
go.
yeah. That's-
I had mentioned this before, we've had some work done on our AC, which, yeah, it didn't come back terribly cheap. Pretty much, so our building is 50 years old, so the AC is 50 years old, and it's obsolete. We can't get coolant for it after this year. So we'll be looking at that and addressing that more with the board as we go forward.
I think something like that, you gotta look into geothermal. It's gonna be there forever, and you can do that. It's a little bit high pricer, but I know people have geothermal and they cool their house for $30 a month.
Yeah, goes deep into the cavity of the earth.
They can do it out in the parking lot.
Under there.
Yeah, they just drill a hole 50 feet down and put a tube in there and.
That's all from the library for now. We got books.
I got some.
They got books in there.
Have you done that?
No, I never have.
Any other reports needed? I have not heard from anyone, so I didn't. Anything else on the agenda? I know we're working on any of the amendments yet, and we have a meeting tomorrow.
Okay, that brings that up. I guess I didn't know about the meeting tomorrow, so I didn't get a text message. I talked to Jean, she said she got one. I asked Steve and he never got one. So why weren't all of us contacted about tomorrow's meeting? Because obviously that does not work for me. So I will not, I can phone in, but I won't be here in person. And the vicious animal kind of falls underneath, I guess, since that's what we're working on. And we never got a phone call, I guess, about the meeting or a text message that we have a meeting tomorrow.
What'd you say, Jay?
I never did either, I got this.
I got a text message asking me if I was
Oh,
available.
yeah.
We had to
But that-
confirm that at least three
Yeah.
members could attend, and I know you usually work that night. And we had to set the date, so in a time that he had to deliver this, as you see in the beginning, no less than 72 hours from the date and time. So we couldn't have it at this meeting because it was too late, because that was Monday when we have this. So the soonest, to have him deliver it by whatever day it was.
Well, why couldn't we think of like a Friday or I
You
guess?
wanted it on a Friday, that was another option, could have done, this was just as soon as Thursday to handle it rather than let it go, since it's kind of an important topic that the whole town has been talking about, but it could have gone Friday night, we can still, well, then we'd have to reset that,
So-
never mind, can't change that.
Tish should be there tomorrow night.
That I do not. This is as your ordinance reads, and really this copy which you received about his report and how it spells it out, tells you exactly what is required and what the steps are, and then you can read the whole ordinance as they've already read, I'm sure, a few times, like Steve, so they can enlighten us on the steps required, but
I have a question about that ordinance. Somebody brought that up about, is there a leash law, and you said there is in there? Okay.
I believe so. It says, I don't know, doesn't say on leash. You guys know your leash law?
They can be on a leash or they can
At
have shock
heel.
collar.
Shock collar?
Yep.
So you can walk a dog out?
That's a new one, though. That's not
You
in
can,
there
you
right
can
now.
walk a dog down the street and it's not on a leash, but it's got a shock collar on, you're saying? Off of your property?
We don't have that in place right now.
No,
Yeah.
but you have, on the ordinance right now, that your dog has to be on a leash.
Right
Okay.
now, the
Yep.
physical,
If
the
it's off your, if it's off your property?
The old one says it has to be on a leash,
current one.
the current one, yes.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's
Or if it's at heel,
at heel,
and then that's the
very
varies, like what do you mean at
Yeah.
heel? So that's what we're like working on.
Okay.
So we,
At heel,
so do
that
you
doesn't
guys,
matter, a dog can take off on heel.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's a gray area.
Yeah.
Very great.
Well, I've seen a lot of dogs,
Yep.
you know, people walking them, and I don't have a problem with it, but,
Yes.
you know, you're telling people to contain their dogs and,
Yeah.
you know,
So they
all
have
you
to have a
see
leash
is
if they leave the
something.
property.
Yes,
you're not gonna stop
they're
them.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
duty of
something
restraint is
Did you see some
10.15.
dogs down there?
Shall be the duty of every person owning or having custody of or control of an animal to physically restrain the animal within an enclosure or upon a leash when such animal is left unattended outside or is not at heel. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
The animal must be restrained so as to prevent the animal from leaving the premises of its owner or from coming in contact with the public right of way or the property of another. Failure to restrain is a misdemeanor.
Well, it's also for the safety of the animal too.
Yes,
Correct.
So, goes both ways.
Yep.
because somebody told me there was some dogs running around the park today. Ones from across your street. Because they said that big old hernia sticking out the bottom of it.
Oh, really?
That's another question I have too. We're talking about containing people's animals. I had somebody question me, the neighbors around him, they feed the stray cats, so they come up on his deck too and stuff like that. Now, if you're feeding an animal, does that mean it's your animal then?
Question.
Yeah, that's what we were wondering too. And so you're feeding animals, that's your animal, why are you letting it run free? Because he comes out and his cats are all over his deck, because the neighbors feed him off their deck, so.
Yes, it does say that actions of cats constituting a nuisance is 1033. It's unlawful for an owner of a cat to allow or permit such a cat to perform, so that is the question, who is the owner, to pass on the premises of another causing damage or to run at large. Any cat repeatedly found at large, or if a dog has violated offenses, shall be repeatedly, is in violation. Did you guys address cats in your
But if
changes?
they don't claim ownership,
Yeah, what happened to the feral
how do
cats?
you?
I know, but that's what we brought up, and I thought that's a pretty good idea, because they're feeding them, you know.
Yeah, that is a good idea. If they're feeding them,
How
that's
do you,
like it's
how
a
do you
cat.
prove they're feeding those cats? What if they were intending to feed 4 other cats?
And I know I don't know, I guess, I don't know if it's the same one. I know there was an issue a while
No,
back.
it's not,
Poison
it's
down.
it's somebody else than that,
Okay,
yeah.
and, well, anyway, I was gonna say, I know there's a lot of other older people that put, it's not their cat, they don't take it in, but they'll put food out for stray cats.
That's been going on for years. People do that. In the winter especially.
Police it. I don't know what your best
Or,
option
that's a hard one.
is.
Yeah. He just
pretty
asked
vague
me,
here.
you know,
It says it's illegal, but again, yeah, what do you do about it?
Something that,
Can
yeah,
you
that's
cancel
something,
a day?
How are you gonna stop
that's
that?
definitely something for us to consider.
See, I have no problem with a few of them, because I don't have mice in my house. And it makes fun, yeah. Another thing I have too is, I read somewhere where the state has money on grants to, for cities and that, to give out more money on trees than what we do. So I think we need to look into that. With the ash borer thing and that, yeah. I should have, I don't know if I copied, I don't think I copied it down.
State might plant trees in relation to the ash board.
Yeah, they're giving out more money to help people plant more trees, because it's ash borer.
We only do what, 15?
15 or 20.
I don't know, something like that.
But if we can give out more, and that's another thing too, we need to put on the agenda too, is address all the dead trees on properties too. What we're gonna do about that. What's
Starter
that?
plan.
We have to condemn the trees, don't we?
Tag.
Isn't it tag?
Well, you don't have to. He was going to inform them that, yes, this is an ash tree that needs to be.
But that's what is in the code, isn't it?
We could put that code in the newsletter.
Isn't there a code that states that we can tag a tree?
Was it the one before, yeah?
Yeah.
There is a code that says we can tag a tree, right, and say it needs taken down on a property.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it says, but it does say that, yes.
Does that go under nuisance?
Just to inform them at least that a tree is, yes,
That's
on
a
their
nuisance,
property.
that's a broad area.
There's a lot of nuisance trees there in town. When you drive around, it's sad.
Oh,
Sad.
I mean,
It's bad
we don't know
February,
who's doing
we
it.
didn't know, but now.
Oh, yeah.
We have another thing.
We're not the only town, we drive around other towns.
I know.
sure.
Yes, we need to get planting. Okay, well, that would be good to know.
Now they got some beetle that's taking over the spruce trees.
Oh,
Wow.
good grief.
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Lexi, and second by Steve to adjourn. Do you have anyone who does not believe that should happen right now? Otherwise, say aye. All in favor of adjournment? Aye. And opposed, say nay. Here all ayes. Meeting adjourned at 7:12.
Thank you.